Gosh, like, are you going live on Twitch?
They can hear you. Be quiet.
Who
Isn't that
can?
the point?
Yeah.
You're not up yet.
He is now.
They can hear you is the point. Right now, you're live. Shh.
Please do not swear. Please do not say fuck or bugger.
I'm gonna mute you guys real quick. I'm gonna mute you and then unmute you.
Do not swear. You know I'm not coming back on this show ever again.
Well, you'd be a mainstay, man. You gotta have you every week.
And welcome back to the Tech and Junk channel. I'm your host Ryan Chandler here for something new. It's called Junk Talk Live. We're going to be getting into it here in a moment. I'm going to be with you here for the next, I don't know how long, discussing E3 and a couple titles that a lot of us have been interested in. I'm going to quickly unmute our guests as they come in one at a time because they can't be quiet. Welcome to ACW 37162, Chaz Bua, and of course the Celty, Sergeant Naffy. Welcome, gentlemen. How you doing?
What's going on?
All right. Nothing. All right, so welcome. Let's talk some games. So general impressions, guys, about E3. E3 was last week. A lot of things were announced. What was your feeling before the event, and what was your feeling after the event?
Honestly, for me, I wasn't actually excited about it. I honestly didn't even look too much into it because the year before sucked. But
Year
then
before,
I didn't like it. Like last year when we met up, I just didn't. I didn't like it.
I
It
wasn't
just
the highlight
wasn't
for
good.
you. I wasn't the highlight for you. I
Well,
wasn't
of
like
course you were. I wanted
obviously.
it. And then what was it, that Sunday or that last day, I think it was a Thursday or whatever, but we just hung out the whole time at E3. That was pretty cool. That was awesome. That was the best time we had.
It was not bad.
Yeah.
It was not bad. I mean, that was a great night. I mean, 6 hours of watching Frank eat burgers. It was a good time. I mean, ACW, how did you feel about before E3? How were you feeling then after E3? How are you feeling now?
Well, the thing that I was looking most forward to was being, that we all share ESO, was the Bethesda news conference to see what they had. And I really thought they laid an egg, if you ask me my first thoughts.
Gotcha.
And I thought Ubisoft nailed it. I mean, they got a lot of good-looking titles
Gotcha.
that
Okay.
they put up on the screen. And then the one that we're going to talk about that surprised everybody that I had wasn't anywhere on my radar was Anthem. I mean, Christ, that looks sick.
Oh, it looks beautiful.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Anthem then, and let's get also your feelings, Naffy, on that. So, Anthem is this game from BioWare, and to me, when I first saw it, I was like, so is this what Destiny was supposed to be? I mean, what do you guys think?
A lot of people were saying that. Like, a couple of kids from my work, I was asking them about it, and they were saying, like, a lot of people were saying about how it's like Destiny. I'm like, to me personally, I don't think it's anything like Destiny. I think if they do like compare it, I think this game is way better. It looks
Really?
like it seems like it has more like exploration. You can move around anywhere you want. And the game itself is just beautiful. I just loved it. I thought it was cool. And today, actually, no, yesterday was the first time I actually seen anything about it. And I'm gonna get it. I want to get it.
I mean, I'm
Agreed.
right there with you. I'm right there with you.
It's a day one pre-order, and it might bite us all in the ass like Battlefront.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey.
well, Navi. I mean, for you, Anthem. Like, what were your thoughts when you first saw it?
Did a mess on my sheets. I mean,
You got a mess on your sheets. I mean, but what was your first impression? What really grabbed you? Was it the visuals? Was it that it was BioWare? I mean, what really
It
was
was
the
the-
thing that put you over?
I mean, like you can see the video now if anyone's watching. Like as you walk up to the mechs, I was still unsure at this point, but when you
Mhm.
see the next part, I was just like, wow. And then as it goes on and you see a bit of the combat, I'm just like, I'm
Yeah.
sold.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, looking at
Everything.
I mean, to me, when I look at it, I just see. I'm like, am I Iron Man? Like, there's like 6 different versions of Iron Man, and I'm playing. I mean, with the drop-in, drop-out system in this, the wall. When they describe the wall, does it not? Is it not so indicative of like the city in Destiny? I mean, so
It was
much
like
even
the start of Destiny. Like you drop in, don't you? And
yeah.
it's like,
Mhm.
come on, we have to get through the wall over the other side, and like, you don't really
Yeah.
feel like you're getting anywhere.
True.
Whereas like this, as you see, like,
hmm
and you're going somewhere.
I mean, you're fucking flying. Like, what the flying mechanic alone, I'm just like, sign me up.
That
Not
big
just-
tanky bot is awesome.
Yeah.
Not,
Yeah.
Not just flying. The sequence coming up here in a minute, where you go from flying to underwater seamlessly.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
seamlessly. That was sick. I
That
was
was
like,
dope,
whoa,
yeah.
now he's underwater.
Now, I will tell you my only concern about Anthem is,
Okay.
well, it's obviously an A title, and
Mhm.
where it puts out a good product,
Right.
but it looks so good. I'm waiting for the catch.
Got it. So you're waiting for that other shoe
Yeah.
to fall because, the thing with Destiny was that so many things were promised and then we got kind of shitted on for the first, cycle of content for what Destiny originally was before the Taken King came out.
Well, that's actually my fear with this one is that because it looks so good, and it looks so expansive as you're watching, that
hmm
you're going to get there and it's. You're,
I mean, this underwater transition is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's just ridiculous.
Just the look of like under the water too. It looks so cool
Oh.
with all the lights and everything. That's awesome. I like
Hey,
that a
Yeah,
lot.
And then-
at this point as well, I was also thinking perhaps like there's an entire underwater civilization too.
I mean,
Like I don't think that's just.
yeah. Like underwater civil, you're exactly right. I mean, what do you guys think
You
though?
can even
This
see like in the snippet there, there's an arrow pointing for him to go through that tunnel.
hmm I mean, do you
PS4
think though, like this is not running? This to me is not running on a PS4. Like this is not running on an Xbox. This looks like it's running on a very high end PC because this is obviously.
They claim. You see, this is another thing about E3. Anything you watch at E3, I just assume it's all being run on a fucking.
hmm
Believe
Oh,
for
it's
a
a-
minute they run it on the consoles. They say.
Yeah, some kind of high end, super high end PC. Something just ridiculous. I mean, I don't know. Thinking about Anthem and what it could mean. I mean, they showed off kind of this drop in, drop out mechanic. It's co op. It's very kind of non-linear in a way. The way, I mean, you know how Destiny is, right? Where it's like, oh, we're all going into this direction, but then you can kind of be in the same space doing different things. Do you guys anticipate that with this game, it'll be similar to Destiny with like so many people inhabiting the same space? Or do you think it'll be more instance like this is your world and you can invite other people into your world?
I
Like,
think
what-
it's gonna be that way, where you can just
Yeah.
invite people into your game, not
Instance
everyone.
based.
Just
I do.
Yeah.
I do think
So
I agree with
just-
the same thing.
Just what they're pushing, just even on the PC. Talk about bringing this to console,
Mhm.
having that many people. Because if they did the other way, that's not a day one purchase for me because you're just going to you're asking for like massive issues.
I see.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look at like what's going on. You've got all this. Could you imagine like another 40 people in this space, like right
Yeah.
now?
Yeah, it would not feel nearly as like cinematic and epic. It would just kind of feel, but maybe that's what will kind of define this as being not Destiny, in that you are going to have more of a solo. It's like a solo game, but because like with BioWare games, other than like the Old Republic, they've been typically very linear. Well, not linear, but like big single player games. So maybe this is like the first BioWare game where multiplayer has a more stronger focus. I mean, this could be really, really cool.
When I first watched this video, I had it on mute because I was just checking out the graphics and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I had no idea that first guy you were playing with is an actual person. So
Really?
when I got to this point right here, where the other two drop down, I
Yeah.
was like, "Holy shit! You can play with friends. I want it."
Right.
Yeah.
This game looks really good, and I really want to play it.
The
I mean,
only
it-
thing,
There's a
the only thing that annoyed me is like everything. It was all scripted. I wish
Oh, yeah.
sometimes they just. It's some people just to like land and be like, all right, let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
I mean, this shit looks insane, though. I mean, that looks better than anything I ever
So-
saw. Better than anything I ever saw in Destiny. And speaking of Destiny, I mean, so if you're gonna get like this game, day one purchase, you're gonna be paying attention to it. Are there anything stopping you right now from being? They give you a release date, not pre-ordering now, but they give you a release date, and you're going, all right, I'm pre-ordering. Is there anything that would stop you at this point?
no.
I'm
I'm
Region
gonna-
locked.
I'm gonna get it.
That's
Re-
that's it
region
for me.
locked.
Region locked.
Region
Well, yeah,
lock.
play with you guys.
Yeah,
Otherwise
no,
I
that's true.
forgot.
He's like, I'm playing with my other friends.
There's
Fuck.
quite a few things that they could drop on that would,
That would stop you.
that I think that's one of the ones I can look at, and I think it's brilliant. It looks brilliant,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's going to be brilliant, but I'm not sure it's going to be brilliant day one.
Got it.
But
I mean,
wonder-
I mean, with the teams that they put on this is the team I believe that did Mass Effect 1 and 2, and then I think one of the Dragon Ages. So it's not,
Dragon
you know how,
Age, yeah.
yeah. So it's like,
This is why fought Dragon, not just Andromeda kind of sucked. A lot of people said because they just gave up. They walked away from it.
got it. I mean, again, crazy looking good. It's BioWare. I'm into it. To me, again, it's what Destiny should have been to begin with. And then speaking of Destiny, how are you guys feeling about Destiny 2?
But before you move on, Ryan, can I say one more thing about it?
Yeah, go for it.
If you haven't seen it, Google it on YouTube or YouTube it. There's a what if the Anthem trailer was played by real gamers, and it's two guys who go through the trailer and do voiceover like if you've been playing the game for a while.
Oh yeah,
It's
Oh, that's great.
It's freaking hilarious, man. Because
it's just because it'd be it'd be ridiculous. And I'm sure they have funny little things for when they don't go into the cave.
and the only part about the trailer that irritated me is the lady that got the world's best RNG on the first drop ever. The only drop they show, and she gets exactly what she wants.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
well, yeah,
course.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's all scripted. Like,
Yeah, if you looked at it too, like when
Love
those
the
other two
new
dropped in,
content.
it showed their levels too. They were like 39 and 36 or something like that. So they obviously like gave them everything.
Well, I mean, as we go on though, because we were talking obviously comparing Anthem with what we thought it was very similar to. Destiny 2, how are you guys feeling about that? They showed it obviously at E3. We saw a lot more of it and kind of what it entails and kind of how they're framing the story with you wiping everything, the city's under attack, and you're kind of starting from scratch again. I mean, is this a title you guys are very interested in? Do you think a lot of people would be, or did Anthem steal the thunder?
I'll tell you where I'm at with it. I'm interested. I'm also interested in the fact that they finally got rid of the story on fucking Grimoire cards, and I don't need to go to a website and read about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's now the game,
Mhm.
which I felt was a ridiculous decision in the first one. So that kind of has me interested.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to repeat a Destiny 1. I don't want to play it, really like it for 3 months, and then it'd be like, alright, this is boring now. Oh, it's now going to take nearly a year and a big DLC to bring me back.
I mean, you're not going to quit and come back.
Nappy's not going to quit and then come back to a game. What are we talking about?
Like,
I get it. He's like, I have nothing to say. No, but
I'm not going to explain myself to you idiots.
I don't. You don't deserve an explanation or anything. No, I mean, I feel the same way. I felt burned by the first one, not because I didn't have fun, but because once we reached that point where you hit the light level, you do all the raids, it's like, okay, now what? You can't play different roles. You can't. It's like, well, you have 3 roles, right? But you can't really build anything within those roles. There's no like, I'm gonna equip this way to do that. You know, we saw a couple things indicative of that with the, you know, the shotgunners with the shields, you know, on Titans, or you know, some of the bow hunters. Like there were specific little presets that people would use, but mostly you saw that in PvP. You didn't really see it in PvE. Like this is how I can do content doing this character. It was more so, you know, what's your light level? Okay, now you can do it.
Yeah.
Like I really loved when they brought the swords to Destiny 2. I thought that was fucking cool.
Yeah.
Totally.
That was pretty dope.
You know, especially the higher end, the exotics that had like different skills. I love the void one, because was it the void one or the lightning one where you could send out that spinning like attack?
Oh yeah.
Void
Oh
one.
yeah. Yeah, that's Void.
That was fucking dope, man. I was like,
I'm kind of excited about this game.
Mm-hmm.
But see, I played like everyone else. I'm pretty sure. Like, I don't want it to be a Destiny 1. Like, I don't want it, because I started playing that game like the day one. Like I stayed up. I called out of work. I stayed up until fucking who knows how long, and I played the hell out of it. And then, you know, I did the raids and everything, and then a little while later, I'm just like, all right, now what? Now what do I do now?
Yeah, now? Yeah, exactly that. Okay. I mean, I came into it late. I came into it at Taken King, and we had it on stream, and we're playing, and we're doing raids, and it's like I'm dedicating days to it, and then we do everything. We kind of got a couple people in, taught them how to do different mechanics like we'd like to do, and then it was like, okay. It wasn't like ESO where, okay, I can create a new way to play this, or I can figure out, like, I can get creative. Like, it was literally, I was like, and I'm done. Like, there's
The new classes are okay too. The one that I'm really stoked for is the Titan one, the one with the Captain America shield. That one's cool as hell.
I mean, that's the thing. So what have you, like, of the new additions for Destiny 2 over Destiny 1 as far as the classes, like, what do you anticipate? Is it the shield on the Titan that's really like a big one? Like what?
I think that will be more of like PvP probably.
I got you, because that's the shield, and then they're showing. Yeah, I can
Yeah,
kind
you
of see
can
what you're
throw
talking
the shield. It bounces to people, stuff like that. So that's more of PvP, in my opinion.
about. Got it.
And then
so
I
what's
think
the
they did it.
warlocks?
The Warlocks is a sword. They have a fire sword.
Like some
Oh,
kind of
that's
javelin
pretty
type thing. I mean, it doesn't look
Hunter.
bad.
The Hunter one is stupid because what they did with that one is they took that blade, your dagger or whatever, and they turned it into a staff.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, but that's the thing, right? We're still a little ways out. It's not coming out till about September 8th, and I don't know. It's
I'm gonna
definitely-
play it. I already pre-ordered it. I'm gonna play it, but like the more I talk to other people about it, like from Destiny or from E3, they're saying that it's like the first one. That, like, the gameplay and everything is all the same. There's really nothing new about it. The only new thing is the guns. They have different guns now.
Well, that's the thing too, right? So now, for the first time ever, Destiny is going to be available on PC. And so, from my impressions at E3, I took a look in the Sony booth and I watched people play. I wasn't going to wait in line to play it myself, so I sat there and I just watched for like 20 minutes, just watching different players play it, just watching just every kind of segment they had, and I'm watching and going, okay, so it's in 4K because they're playing on pro models, and I'm like, okay, so the resolution's better, it's crisper, but this is the same shit. Like, it was the same. It was just painfully the same. And so I go on over from there. I go over to the NVIDIA booth where they have it featured, and I speak with the NVIDIA rep, and we're talking about it, and they're like, yeah, this thing you can play Destiny in 4K, 60 frames per second, unlocked, and can go up to like 120 with like some of their newer cards. And so they had their demo units, and I'm watching. And again, I wouldn't play it in 4K, regardless, because I don't have 4K screens. But I watch it, and that was the first time I went, whoa, this looks like a sequel. This looks different. It feels different. Because when you see Destiny in 60 frames per second versus 30, which is what everyone has experienced up until now, it's remarkably different. And I think as a player that is not as enthused with Destiny 2, I'm more interested in the PC edition than I am in the console one, which is weird to say.
But doesn't that bring it down to, like, basically shining up bells and whistles? I mean,
Yeah.
it boils down to
Yeah.
you know, you want the gameplay to be fun. It can look fucking beautiful. Minecraft for some people, is the best game ever. But it's a fucking 3D blocky game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I get what you're saying, but would you guys consider PC? If you had a PC to do it, whether you guys actually or not, would you consider getting this for PC, or would you stick with the console of your
See,
choice, PS4 or Xbox?
I'd probably
That's
play.
an easy choice for me. I'm a console gamer, so that's not.
Got it, console gamer.
I guess
I
it
also
depends, for me at least. Go ahead.
I'll say just about
Firstly-
Destiny 2. Sorry, Matthew. Go ahead.
For me, this game, it's about playing with friends, and if I've got no one to play it with,
Mm-hmm.
it's probably just gonna go on the fucking floor like it did last time. I had fun when we played it, right?
Mhm.
But then people
Yeah.
got bored of it. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
I think Destiny heavily relies on the people you play with.
Well, a lot of games now, the game can be really good if nobody's playing it. Your friends aren't on it. Then the game sucks. Has nothing to do with the game or the content.
Right.
Destiny 2 will be very popular, I think.
Mhm.
People who love Destiny 1 and played it for hours and hours will buy it, play
Right.
this for hours and hours. And to their credit, I think their game releases way before Anthem. I don't think you're looking at Anthem until 2018. But
Oh no, no way.
Yeah, no way.
I expect Destiny 2 to be Destiny plus some. And I expect, when you look, as you get closer to September in 2018, and you hear more about Anthem and more about Destiny, I think it's going to be readily apparent that one is really, really, really pushing it good, and the other is just like a comfortable shoe, something you already know you're comfortable with, and people are going to buy it. But I just it doesn't do it for me. Like I played a little bit of Destiny 1. It wasn't my thing, so I'm not really a target audience. I think
I have a question.
it's
for
going to do
you
well.
guys.
It's going to be a very good game.
Go ahead, Neff.
All right, so my question for you guys is: did you guys buy Destiny actually liked, or because it was so well fucking PR'd and sold?
Probably PR.
Like
Hype-
the
hype- it was
first
a hype
one,
purchase.
it was rammed down your, rammed down your throat.
Well,
everywhere you went.
I'm coming from Taken King. Taken King, I was like, I was sold. The PR was like, I'm late. I've been missing out. This is my chance. I get everything. Taken King. It's Destiny
for, like,
2.0.
Chaz and AC that bought it at the beginning, then
Mhm.
like you couldn't go anywhere. You couldn't go
Well-
anywhere without seeing Destiny.
Yeah.
If you go back to when like Destiny 1 and Anthem, if you go back to when the hype started, Anthem looks, by what they've shown you so far, like a very open world, open space, less constraints. Destiny 1 was not. You were actually very constricted in your movement.
Very.
Yeah.
And that was a very big turnoff for me from the very beginning, because it was billed as this open world, go everywhere, do anything, and yeah, you could, but it ended up being not how you thought, in very small pieces.
Right.
Anthem, on the other hand, looks like this wide open space where you can
Mhm.
jump on a jetpack and you can just go for 3 hours and never get to the
Fly
mountain
around.
that you see. But I mean,
Yeah, no, I know where you're coming from. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I guess for me, I'm not pre-ordering it. A shout out to Bold Pride. He gave me a beta key. I'll check out the beta and get a little hands-on for
I'm
those
still
that are
waiting for mine.
rocking that 1080p, 30 frames per second, and kind of see how it feels. But I mean, I don't anticipate right now, as of right now, pre-ordering this title. And I think if I do get it, I'm interested in the PC simply because it'll feel different. And although I do agree with you, Naf, that completely affected by who you play with, and like trying to get it together. We've obviously gone through a couple cycles of games where we buy them together and we work together and we play together. Not just you and me, Naf, but just in general with groups of friends. Naturally, there are always people that fall off on every game you buy together, right? Not everybody stays locked in for the long haul, whether that's the Division, whether that's like Ghost Recon Warfighter, or a couple of the other titles that have come out where they're all really, really kind of like group based, and like if you're playing with your friends, they're the best games in the world. But if you're not playing with your friends, then it's kind of like meh. So the thing with me with Destiny is like I am cautious because I'm frankly scared that I'm gonna get it to play with people and then no one's gonna play. And then I'm going to get to the end point again of I can't go any further without waiting for new DLC. I can't innovate. So, shit. But at the same time, we're coming up to the release, here in September, and like Nafi was saying, you couldn't initially with Destiny, since it was kind of a launch title for the new consoles, you couldn't get away from it. And it's going to amp up between now and then. It's like almost this magic trick where we're all going to get hyped about it and then buy it and then look at this video, a year later and go, we knew this going in. Why didn't we not buy it?
Exactly.
Because marketing works. There's a reason marketing executives make a lot of money.
All right. Well, then speaking of marketing, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next title. And I think speaking of games where people fall off, let's talk about Battlefront 2. How are you guys feeling about Battlefront 2?
Cautiously optimistic.
Yeah. I'm kind of stoked for it though. Like it looks good.
Yeah.
I like how you can play the different. There's a lot more heroes this time, and you can play different characters. And they're like, I think one of my favorites is the B2 droid. That's gonna be cool as hell.
That's pretty cool. I mean, it seems like they watched my Junk Talk video, and they went, okay, we should not do Nib Nub and Lando Calrissian. We should get Darth Maul, Rey and all the people from the new movies, and we should have some single player. That's essentially what they've done. There's a full single player campaign that's really original and canon, which is incredible. And, obviously a shit ton of heroes. And not only that, I think a really interesting choice they've made, which is again kind of indicative of Titanfall 2, is the merit-based hero system. So it's no longer this random drop that you'll randomly spawn in the field, you pick up, and then you become the hero, and there's only one for your team. It's based on your performance that you earn over time. So if you do well, you earn it faster. If you do terrible, you still have a chance of getting one during a match. Kind of all, Titanfall, where you're doing really well, you get your Titan back really quickly. If you're going slowly, well, take your time, and then you'll get your Titan eventually, which is pretty cool. And you can have multiple people on a map being as heroes.
You want to be Darth Maul, you get to play as Darth Maul. That's a selling feature for sure.
Yeah. I mean...
Well, it gives that whole... I like how they've changed the play style. I'm all about... If I'm playing as a team, and I think Ryan's the same, I think we're all the same, really. We're playing this, right? It's an objective-based game. We want to be pushing the objectives. So you're rewarded more for doing that. You're rewarded for playing as a team now.
That's awesome.
That's cool. That's very cool. Yeah, there's a droid.
More hero points faster.
Right. So then you can do the cooler things faster. I mean, I feel like they've kind of rebalanced the form of the game. Why people play? Because they want to be the heroes and they want to feel OP. That's what it is. I want to be a Sith. I want to be a Sith, and I want to get in there, and I want to do work. That's kind of where I'm at.
I want to battle other people as well.
Yeah.
I really like the fact that, okay, we're not going to lock it to one hero per side.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a smart choice.
That before, to me, I did always think, why? Why can't we have Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia all on the battlefield at once?
Oh my god. The whole family. All Skywalkers.
I think
all
it's
that.
It's indicative of how strong the Star Wars franchise is. They could lay such a complete egg, and everybody is still so excited for this.
Yeah.
I really hope it delivers.
Me too. I mean, looking at it, it just seems to be if Anthem is what Destiny should have been, then Battlefront 2 is what Battlefront should have been. Because this looks fun.
It looks good.
I mean, a lot of people are talking about the story. Now, I don't know about you guys, but it didn't bother me. Number one, didn't have a story. What bothered me is the game died.
Well, because again, what do you do when no one's playing? I mean, the servers were fucking empty from start. There were queues to get into matches. It was ridiculous.
System.
And thank you, no fucking progression system. If you get to level 25 and you've unlocked all the weapons and they're adding weapons as DLC, there's been a mistake. It's an unfinished game. They just fucking phoned it in, and they realized, okay, no one has any reason to play. And it was sad because beyond streaming and having fun with you guys in the community, I never once played that by myself off stream. Not once. Which is crazy.
I think only person at the time that did was Lemon, and I even said to Lemon one time, off stream, I'm like, how are you play this game on your own?
Right.
I never touched it unless you was online.
Yeah. Likewise.
Or
Like it might.
the one or two times me and Katie might have played on his own.
Oh, totally. Oh, that was
Yeah,
funny.
Like,
That was fun. So much fun playing with
all they
Dragon.
have to do is keep playing the Darth Maul with him spinning around with a double red lightsaber, put that on the TV, and they'll sell 1 million copies.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's absolutely just bonkers. I mean, it looks like they've got some kind of more vehicles as well that are not all flying. It's like
Yeah.
and a couple different more objective match based things that are really cool too. So it's like, God, this is the Star Wars game that we wanted 2 years ago.
Exactly.
Oh, shit.
yeah. Yeah. Which, if they'd have made 2 years ago, they might not have even had to fucking make this one and save themselves a load of money. But
Ah,
This should just be a
Yeah.
DLC, obviously, but that's
yeah, that's another
Yeah,
conversation.
they won't do that.
All right, well then let's break away obviously from the shooters and the multiplayer. Let's get into a kind of a single player experience. So ACW Spider-Man, the exclusive for PS4. Tell me about it. Tell me about this game.
oh Jesus! It's everybody has a game that they remember when they were a younger gamer or 1st getting into it or on wherever that just they sat and played for hours. And Spider-Man was that game for me.
Got it.
And this is Spider-Man on steroids times 12 with the combat system of the Batman games. And
Hmm.
God, it just looks so amazing. I mean, it's on the people.
can I
watching
just
it right now.
interrupt?
Yeah, go ahead.
The combat system of Batman done better.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Keep going.
This
Tell me more.
is fluid as shit.
It looks
Stuff
pretty
you
damn
can
good.
do. Like, this just actually looks almost like the combat almost feels like you are part of a movie. Like, you are fighting like Spider-Man would be able to fight.
Well, the movement, the way they've done the animations is pretty crazy. I mean, I'm anxious to get my hands on it to kind of feel it for myself because obviously with the gameplay demo they've shown, it's it's gorgeous. It plays really well. I mean, everything looks and he moves the way he does all his animations just like you expect Spider-Man would. You know what I mean? It's not like random humanoid animations. It's Spider-Man moving, which is weird to say, but I mean, you see it in motion rather, and it's crazy. I mean, Chaz, when you look at this game, when you check this out, I mean, I don't know how much of a Marvel Spider-Man fan you are. I mean, what do you think, first thing?
See, I've never been a big fan of Spider-Man,
Mm-hmm.
but this game looks really, really good. The combat system in it, I agree with all of you guys. It's amazing. The fighting and everything is just so cool.
Now, I noticed that there's a lot of what looks like, quick time events or feels kind of quick time event thing, with these big cinematics we've seen in every game since God of War came out. But, I mean, for the most part, as you see, all these combos being put through, like, this looks fucking crazy.
See,
And so-
I don't,
and-
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't mind quick time events provided they're done right and they're not
Mhm.
just like the entirety of the game.
I mean, that shit
Like,
is
if the quick time
crazy.
events like it shows, like with the lift or on the move quick time events, I get it. But
Mhm.
by the gameplay, that's when I think you have a problem. But I think
No,
they've
I-
done it right here.
I mean, and it's also, you got to remember the developers Insomniac, of, what was
They've been working on this for a while,
a
You're
while.
like
And it-
7 years, something I heard.
and it's not tied to the movie, so it's not just a crappy movie title.
But that's his voice, though. That's Tom Holland. That's him, or at least someone that sounds a hell of a lot like Tom Holland, who is, as you know, the new Spider-Man.
I think he did voice it, but I do not believe the plot of this is at all tied. What I read is that none of this. There might be some crossover, but it's not a movie-based game.
Yeah, no, this isn't. Yeah, it's not based
Trying
on
to
the
just
movie
get
or
it
anything,
out,
but it's
you know.
definitely the character, same character. Like it's Tom Holland's Spider-Man, the design of the suit, the way it moves, the technology behind it. Because you notice it's obviously very different than the last two
I love
kinds
it,
of.
rather.
That is
Of the Spider-Man films where Tobey Maguire's was more built like he's sprouting shit out of himself. It was kind of an organic web system, and then you move into Andy Garfield's, which is a little bit different, and then to this one, which is obviously more Tony Stark technology with all of his augmented superhuman abilities that are spider-like. So he was still bit by a spider or something like that with his origin, but he's you know, he's got techno stuff. His eyes move differently. It's no longer this. I don't know. When I saw the Tobey Maguire stuff, and this kind of goes off on a tangent, that was my least favorite series of Spider-Man. Anything was Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. What did you guys think?
Well, I was talking about this the other day. Funnily enough, I think
Uh-huh.
they made too much of a love story with the first Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
That was my biggest problem with it.
I get that. I mean, Kirsten Dunst. I mean, it was funny. There was an interview recently, and Kirsten Dunst was like, "Oh, they're making another Spider-Man. Whatever. Ours were the best. I guess they can do another one." And I'm just thinking to myself, "Oh, lady, I'm sorry. I'd rather watch the Andy Garfield ones, and they weren't by any means fantastic films, but a hell of a lot better than watching, you know, mopey Tobey Maguire lose his powers because he's depressed." I was like, this is not my Spider-Man. Pass.
So the best superhero movies are the movies that can take a character you love as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
that and have them appeal to you as an adult, but still appeal to the next generation of kids
Totally.
without insulting you, without making you. I mean, you obviously have to suspend the disbelief to get some of this stuff, but the James Garfield Spider-Man was better than the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans. It treated the watcher like they were an adult.
Mm-hmm.
The
Can I just say, this
No, go
quick
ahead.
time event, this quick time event here, this is what I'm talking about. It being done right.
Totally. No, absolutely. It looks exceptional. I mean, but continue ACW. Like the Andy Garfield ones.
But the idea, like, and the one where I think the one where he was depressed was also the one where I'm not getting them out of sync here, but where they introduced Venom. The thought that you could just throw Venom in there,
Mm-hmm.
people will watch it and it's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's insulting, and all the what Marvel has done, to stay on Marvel,
Mm-hmm.
is take things that you love, present them in a new universe, in a way that makes it fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, absolutely.
and it's so successful, and it's just amazing to me that people like that people don't ever like snap on that. They just, not that it's all crap, but people generate a lot of junk and just put a name on it and expect you to go. But this is one of those. This Spider-Man game is one of those for me. If it's disappointing, it's going to be a Night Mother's Gaze situation.
Oh my God, I've been betrayed. I've been wearing a corpse. I mean, what's funny too is that a lot of people actually thought this trailer was, all it wasn't like someone actually playing. I saw this, like this exact demo that you're watching right now in person and watched someone play it, like one of the devs, and it was incredible. I'm sitting there just going, wow, this is video games now. This is a single player cinematic Marvel superhero game. I mean, it's fucking crazy. Like,
That's why-
absolutely crazy.
This is, and you've just touched on something then why I'm glad that it's not tied to the movie, is
Mhm.
because I don't think they can deliver as a crap product now because they're not trying to get it out to sell.
Mhm.
Like,
Right.
slightly off topic a little bit, The
Mhm.
Walking Dead, it was a cash grab. Every game
Right.
they've made,
Oh,
a
yeah.
cash grab on the. This isn't that because it's
Right.
nothing to do with the movies. So
I mean,
I think we're gonna get a good Spider-Man.
well, it's Insomniac, right? They have some experience, obviously, making some superhero games. For those that are familiar with Infamous and all those games, that's them. That's Insomniac.
Yeah.
That's their bread and butter. They've been making their own superhero games forever, and they finally got permission to do, obviously one of the most beloved superheroes of all time in open world, a la, Infamous. And I mean, it looks crazy. It looks like the perfect marriage of developer with property. Like,
And look at those quick, like Matthew was saying about those QuickTime events that just played.
mhm.
Those there's actually an element of skill to it. It's not just a button press this on that one,
Yeah,
and
I'm.
you feel like you're actually doing something.
I
It
mean,
looks
just
smooth.
crazy. All right, so that's our a good single player title. But then let's go on to another single player title that's kind of taking a new form that I think a lot of us, myself included, have kind of maybe not paid attention to, and that's Monster Hunter World. So, how many of you guys played Monster Hunter at any point in time? Because I know I didn't. Any of you guys play Monster Hunter?
I never did.
Did not.
Nappy, did you play any Monster Hunter at any time?
Yeah, I played I think one of them on Nintendo. I was young though. I really wasn't like.
Well, what's interesting about this game, it is very much foreign for like Sony and Microsoft platforms because for those who are not familiar, Monster Hunter has been ubiquitous with Nintendo for a very long time, like back in the Wii U. I guess more so the Wii and like the NDS and a little bit on the Vita and that kind of thing. You just didn't see Monster Hunter games really on high spec platforms, and so for me, it just never was on my radar. I'm like, oh great, you hit things with a big stick and you wear the stuff, whatever. And then I get to E3, and I think Gilliam had mentioned keeping an eye out for Monster Hunter World, and I look at it and I watch it, and it's crazy. I mean, the fidelity of the world they're trying to create, where it's alive, and things like the flora, the fauna, the wildlife reacts to each other and actually like will eat each other in front of you, like actually eat them, like like one of these creatures actually puts the other in its mouth and then displaces its stomach and then walks away. And there's like just all these interactions that are within that, and they all exist and recognize each other. And then they add in this multiplayer element where people can come in and do co-op and then go hunting these giant dragon monster things. I was like enchanted, and the tension watching it, not even like having played it before, but just watching, I was like, whoa, this is cool. It's like Jurassic Park with dragons. I love it.
Like, I think I needed your experience then.
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
from what I saw of this, well, I told you the other day, from what I saw of this, I was just like, nah.
Well, you'd asked us to do some research on titles beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I know it.
Well,
But I could all right, give me a break.
No,
I found out yesterday.
No, not that. I wasn't saying that to you, Naffy. I was going to say after E3, they released a 20-minute video that was done in Japanese, where there was a live broadcast that they put up on YouTube, where they actually did co-op play live. And you talk about Anthem and the drop-in mechanic. One of the things they've done very well here, especially with I think you're going to see it here in a little bit, where they fire off the flare, and that's how people know to come, that you're, that's the mechanism by which they tell you that you need help.
It's crazy.
Watching 4 people. Now this trailer really didn't, like when I watched this from E3, it's on the screen right now, like it looks good. It's got some unique elements to it, but like Naffy said, when you watch it, like he didn't have that experience with you had one
right
live, and I don't get it watching this. But that 4-person where they actually rotated around, and you have a guy with the big sword and a guy with a big club and then a guy with a bow and then another, and the tension of them, like how long it took them to track and try to kill him, how many times they lost and had to refine the monster and go back to base camp. It definitely looks like, as far as like the gameplay that I know you enjoy, or the 4-person team trying to do something,
right,
it's going to provide some unique
experiences
that you won't get anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly my thinking. I mean, I'm glad you picked up on that, because it's like, I was just like this when I was watching this the whole time, just like, he's being chased by a fucking monster. Is it going to get him? Where is he going? And then he goes and he gets to the top, and it's another fucking monster that's going, I'm going to eat you. And it's like, oh God, what am I going to do? And then you have friends that come in, and then the idea that I've never played enough Monster to understand how it works, but like, you can craft things from the bodies of your fallen enemies and then get stronger and then go hunt like even bigger and badder monsters that exist in a big open setting with like they're showing it right now, this like waterfall mechanic where like there's environmental hazards that'll just like fucking happen, and you're just like, oh my God, it's amazing. I mean, I was like, I did not for a second, there it is eating the thing. I did not for a second think, okay, Monster Hunter, that's one of my titles I'm going to definitely pay attention to when it comes out. And after the demonstration, I was like, man, what platform am I getting this on? Not whether I'm going to get it or not, but what platform. I'm like, okay, it's a Japanese game. You know how that works. Their PC things usually are a little broken to start out. They're, if I were also PC as far as like friends on your list and everything's kind of wonky. So, I'm thinking like, oh, I'm getting this on PS4 for sure. And then they announced it. They're like, yeah, it's not even coming out for PC until later, a la Destiny. And it's coming out on PS4 and Xbox. And I'm like, sold. This 2018 Monster Hunter World Tekken Chunk, I'm buying it. Like, I want people to play it. I want to get on a team. I want to go hunt monsters. Like, this is crazy.
Right. So I have a question for you, Ryan. Seeing
Yeah.
you know kind of roughly what I like to play,
Mm-hmm.
Could you see me playing this then?
Versus
But
what?
playing
Yeah.
it on my own if you guys are online?
Yes. Yeah. I could see me playing this on my own if you guys weren't online. Yeah. Because it's just like you can go and hunt, and then by merit of your skill, because this is a very skill-based game, which is weird to say, you can hunt these giant monsters and be like, and then the next time we all get online and you had been playing and grinding it out and we get back on and you're like, yeah, I'm like, Navi, what the fuck is that? What are you wearing? And you're like, I beat the so-and-so dragon monster thing. And I'm like, how the fuck did you beat that by yourself? And you're like, get good, motherfucker. Like, it's that kind of, I could totally see it happening. Now, again, I haven't played it. It wasn't a hands-on, demo type situation where I could get my hands on. It feels, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's not clunky the way it looks like. The connection, like the combat, like when you hit a monster, like, it's not like when you hit the monster, it reacts to the physics of your sword hitting it. Like, you hit it and it falls back. It's more like you hit it and that it causes damage, but the things take so much damage. I can just see this, if you're in a group of people that are like playing cooperatively, it'd be fun to play and really fun to watch. I don't know. Something crazy.
Well,
I mean,
like that 4-man space where you get together and do, like, one of the things that you see in the trailer that they don't really explain is, of course, you fought the T-Rex looking monster.
mm-hmm,
But then, if you really watch the trailer and dissect it beyond just the visuals,
mm-hmm,
he basically took the aggro
mm-hmm.
and then ran him somewhere else to get
Yep.
to find the big thing with the dragon with the spiked tail.
Right.
And you're actually hunting that, and not the T-Rex.
Ah. Oh,
That
that's
was-
kind of cool.
So
That's
you're
a-
baiting it.
Wow.
You got to get that big ass guy over to this point to find this guy, and then you got to try to, and like one of the things they do in the walkthrough where they show you the gameplay,
Mm-hmm.
their objective is to try to separate the tail from the dragon. So then you got to ground it, and then once
Mhm.
it's grounded for a few seconds, you got to get your melee character trying to hack the tail off. And
Right.
just how that all works and the dynamics there. It's definitely interesting.
Well,
Will
some
you say it's gonna have? Will it have like say quests that say, I don't know, bring me the head of so and so, or bring me the foot of this thing?
Definitely. There'll be dailies, I'm sure, something like that, or objective based. How you advance.
I mean, there's a reason these games have been so popular for so long, and again, have existed in their purest form of like the gameplay's good, because again, they've never been on platforms that are like high end. Oh God, this is it looks so gorgeous. I'm so enraptured by what I'm playing. It's always been, God, I love playing this. I'm gonna play it on my Vita for hours and years, because it isn't released anywhere else. I'll play it on a Nintendo Wii. You know what I mean? I mean that's indicative of something.
But
The
also with
question
it
for
being
this
on
game for me-
Nintendo, though, it's a big. Sorry.
The question for this game for me is one of the things that Rich Lambert said
Mhm.
last year is that pretty much all online games, they're moving to a space where everything's connected. So you can do. What I'm interested to see is, because Capcom's always on the forefront of this, how
Mhm.
they tie this title to your mobile device, and what can you do from there that affects you in game while you're waiting at the doctor's office, sitting doing
Mhm.
something else. How can you engage? Because I'm pretty sure this game will have some aspect of that. Because Monster Hunter has generally been a mobile
Right.
thing. That I think that'll be a unique tie-in for this, which we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I mean, there's definitely more time between now and release, because I don't think we have a finalized release date other than 2018 or early 2018. But I mean, it's definitely something to watch. I think, obviously, as far as Tekken Junk goes, I'm definitely going to be paying very close attention if it's something I think we as a community could get into. Because if it's fun to watch and it's fun to play and it's team based and it's like get the giant boss, I mean, fuck, this could be fun. This could be really, really fun.
See, this is one of the games I didn't do too much research on.
Mhm.
This one was more of a last minute thing. I didn't really look at it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But from the first time I seen it, I was like, okay, that's pretty decent. But now hearing you guys talk about it, I'm like, damn, I want to play it now. Like I want to try it.
Yeah, I want to try it out. So I guess this is kind of like a wait and see. I mean,
Yeah.
it's funny. None of us were like, yeah, we're Monster Hunter players. It's like, no, and all of us are like, nope, not really. No.
This could be a really nice surprise.
Yeah, it could
Yeah.
be a really nice surprise. I think you're right, Nav. Exactly right. All right. Well, moving on to our final title, and it kind of ties into what I was streaming earlier today, which was Shadow of Mordor. We're talking about Shadow of War. So, Shadow of War, the sequel to Shadow of Mordor,
Hey, Ryan,
in the
may I
Lord of the Ring world, kind of amazing. I'm already sold. But for you guys that maybe have or haven't played the game, how do you guys feel about it?
I'm actually excited for it. I kind of want to play it.
I wanted to reverse the stream for a second and say, Ryan, how do you feel about Shadow of War? You actually, you were there. You got to see it. You've expressed euphoric joy so far about it.
Uh,
What are
I
your
mean,
impressions?
Do we really need to listen to him? Do
the
we really?
procedural enemy system that adapts to you, that remembers you, that is scared of you, that hates you, that recognizes you, that is such a rewarding piece of dynamism to any kind of gameplay. It's insanity. And
Sorry, we needed a new word.
oh my god, dynamism. I can't even say it right. It's so good. Like the Nemesis system, for those that don't know, the idea that they are procedurally generated, no one orc guy is the same, and that based on your interactions, whether you kill them or they get away or they kill you, they remember you and you have a relationship with them. And like you get the actual feeling of like, fuck, I want to kill that thing. It got me. Or, the insults are actually traded and actually have some form of like reference or perspective is crazy. And so what they've done now with this sequel is taken what worked in the first game and turned it up by 5. And it's just stupid good. I mean, I got to watch one of these little reserve sit in theater and watch it, and I'm just watching him play and going, dude,
That troll guy. Oh, my little troll guy. That he sold me. Sorry, but
the big guy. Oh yeah, he's crazy. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, did you guys play the first game? Did you guys like what you saw about it with the gameplay and what they're showing here? Let me know.
I nearly platinumed I platinumed the first game, and I nearly platinumed the first game twice.
Damn.
So you liked it?
Yeah. So it's a win.
Funnily enough, at first, no, I fucking hated it. But after I took when I took my hiatus from ESO, I was like, alright, I'm gonna play some single player games. And Ryan was talking about this, and I was like, alright. And Ryan suggested go back and play the first one. So I took his advice, and I loved it.
Yeah, it's a good
Thursday.
game, man. Thursday.
I started Monday morning at 9 o'clock, and by Thursday, I'd platinumed it.
Oh shit, that is a
Ryan,
goddamn.
I can't remember this. Guys, help me. What's the name of the game they're re-releasing on PS4 remastered from PlayStation? That was a big.
I'm not sure.
This is Shadows 1 is Shadow of the Colossus type game. It's one of those games you can.
Oh yeah. They're bringing that back. Shadow of the Colossus. They're bringing it back to the PS4. Yeah.
This is a game. The first game is a game you can pick up 3-5 years later and still enjoy it.
Yep.
This will be another one of those. It's.
I agree. I mean, coming back today and playing Shadow of Mordor, like getting ready for this, because I was like, oh, this makes me want to play it again. This whole fort mechanic, because what they're showing right now is you bringing your army of orcs that you've brought to your side as the Bright Lord, and breaking down their defenses based on, again, procedurally generated defenses and enemies that know you and are afraid of you and hate you, and it's not this like trite video game trope that feels just kind of really fake. It feels like you're in the world, and when you have murdered thousands of your enemies, they know that you murdered thousands of them, and they're terrified. I mean, that's you can't. It's funny when the Nemesis system first came out on Shadow of Mordor. Everyone's like, yeah, everyone's gonna steal their system. Like everyone's gonna do this. Like this is the beginning of the the new thing in video games as we know it. And then no one did it. Like no one could do it. No one pulled off what they did with the first game. Outside of like, I guess XCOM 2 is like using something now with a piece of DLC, but other than that, nobody. So for them then to take what they did well and then add to it is just going to, again, I think, advance the kind of gameplay, fun that is going to just move forward as we go from here. It's crazy.
I mean, you've harped on you obviously really like the Nemesis system, and it's a really big selling point. Like that,
Mm-hmm.
just talking about that sells the first game short. The combat in that game was amazing.
Oh yeah.
It felt everybody talks about games and wanting to feel powerful and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like the hero that you are when you play that game.
Totally.
Who doesn't want to play in Tolkien's world more? And
Oh.
as far as the second game, you said it best when you said it on your Discord.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna have a Balrog.
Oh God. They
So
have
I
a
have
Balrog.
Done.
I have one
just
question.
just give me the game.
Right. Yeah. Go ahead, Nev.
So you've seen this game, right? Like,
Yeah.
one of the things that's actually really excited me this time is I find it really interesting how they've now implemented gear and it looks different. You
True.
feel like it looks different.
Very true. Actually, I didn't even think about that. You're absolutely right, Neffy. They're actually implementing more of a gear system, so your choices of what gear you make impact your gameplay a lot more than the ruin and upgrade system did in the past. I didn't even think about that. I haven't even thought about it at all.
Because I was going to ask, like, part of my question was going to be, what did you get to see of it? Like,
Well, what they showed, I mean, it wasn't this piece of what I'm showing you right now. For those that are watching the live stream, what they showed was actually just going in and doing a fortress takeover. The setup, the breakdown of how there are different modifiers that affect different things. As the battle advances, how to basically capture a fort, like with these capture points that you have to push through and eliminate war chiefs and captains throughout, and then you finally get to these overlords that are then, at the end, and if you take them out, then you've taken it, and then you establish a piece of Mordor. So it's a little bit different than the first game where it was like these little areas and it was so much smaller. Like this feels so much more grand in a big way.
Well, this is the part where the guy you thought you killed came back. That's so awesome.
It's crazy, absolutely crazy.
This particular, sorry.
Go ahead, no, please.
This particular trailer that you picked, and I'm glad this is one of my favorites of the stuff that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
Just shows how complex this game is, and I love when you get to the boss fight. Then the call in, where the guy, the beast hunter shows up to help you when you're fighting the boss, and then he gets promoted to be the fort leader at the end. It's just you picked a really good vision.
Thank you. I appreciate that. No, yeah, it's good. And for those that are listening and are going, I can't see anything, I'm listening to this audio only, feel free. This will be posted on the Tech and Junk YouTube for your dissection afterward. But again, as far as platform, I'm buying this. I know that. I care not what any of you do. Nothing will stop me from buying this. I'm getting this on PC. I know it. I'm doing it. I'm not getting it on console. It's a single player game. It looks gorgeous. I have a PC that can run it. I'm buying it. Like, I'm done. It's it. It's done. Like, I have no question in my mind. How about you guys? Obviously, ACW, you said you were a console gamer, but if you had the choice to play on PC, would you get this on PC? Is this a title you would consider, or would you always, stick to the console?
This is one, if I had a gaming rig set up with an actual monitor that would push, if I spent the money to do that, this is one I would consider. But like I said, I bought a 4K TV and a PS4 Pro as an early adopter because I like to do my gaming on my couch.
Totally.
I will be playing this on my couch.
Yep. That is a thought, though, playing it on the couch. Yeah, no, it's just something to think about. I didn't even think about that.
I'm really enjoying, like, I never played the first one. Never even, checked it out.
Really?
Yeah, I've never checked it out. Like, I've heard of it before, but like I said, I've never played it, never watched anyone play it, never looked it up on YouTube or anything. But the fighting in this game is amazing. Like, it's good.
I mean, they took the best parts of Batman, added a little Assassin's Creed, and put it in fucking, Lord of the Rings with open world and just the coolest story arc that I've seen in any Lord of the Rings game. You know what I mean? Like, this shit, Celebrimbor, the whole breakdown of what's going down, how they've been able to have such creative license to really do some interesting shit, so it's not just rehashes of the films.
And I believe it's canon, is it not?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fucking canon. Like, they've somehow kept it with... Oh, it's just crazy. It's crazy. And now we're getting to a point where you're riding a Drake and fucking blowing shit up and lighting it on fire. And it's just like, can this game be topped? And what is that? What is that? Oh my god.
See, I thought it was gonna be like a hack and slash. You're just sitting there like swinging your sword every once in a while. You can do an ability where you spin around, but the way that like he's like switching to the other form and like teleporting to somewhere else or like bringing someone over to him, that I think it's cool. I want to play it like really bad.
Like
It
I'm
looks cool.
this game looks awesome.
See, I always get made fun of because I like playing single player games, Dragon Age, Final Fantasy, stuff like that.
Really?
But oh yeah, I love single player games.
Love it.
Like I played Ghost Recon. I played that one. I beat that whole game single player. And then
Mhm.
I went off and I played with other people. But like I love single player games. I think they're awesome. The stories, the biggest thing for me are stories.
Totally.
I love stories.
Well, are you a fan of the Lord of the Rings? Have you really kind of followed the Lord of the Rings, the Silmarillion, or the Hobbit, or any of those stories?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Then you're gonna. I mean, this is your shit. I mean, anybody that's read the Silmarillion or kind of some of the short stories that were kind of compiled for that,
Mhm.
you're gonna appreciate the touches and the characters and just the lore that they've expressed through this game. Because otherwise, you just don't see that stuff. A lot of what people intake of the Lord of the Rings is, the Hobbit, recent Hobbit films, and before that, the Lord of the Rings films. Otherwise, there's no real, on-screen or interactive vehicle to experience these elements. And that's what's so exciting, because they took Celebrimbor, that whole thing, which is the Wraith in obviously both games, that was an expression like of one piece of one short story. Like, it isn't talked. Celebrimbor isn't like there's this big overriding like story about him that is being shown in this video game. The developers, with the permission of the Tolkien estate, managed to, express what they wanted to do and really kind of fill in the gap as to why, what Celebrimbor's story was, how it figures in with obviously his creation of the rings, and then obviously the story they built with these last two games. So, it's just so good, man. I mean, anybody that likes Lord of the Rings, why not play this? And anybody that really appreciates the Tolkien Lord of the Rings world, I mean, it's just crazy. And then watching this gameplay,
I
So
love how
you-
they cuts the heads off and stuff too.
So
Limbs.
oh,
you and Naffy platinum the first game, Naffy twice.
yeah.
So for
Oh, man.
those who
Yeah.
have never played the first game, have either one of you two recruited an entire army of
Mhm.
hundreds to thousands of orcs and then killed them with a single button press?
It was very, very fulfilling. What he's talking about is that there's a mechanism as the Bright Lord, as you are, obviously host to this wraith. One of your abilities you earn over time is the ability to brand and/or bend and dominate orcs to your will. So they will follow your lead, take your orders, and be your allies. But one of the fun things with the Nemesis system is that you could basically brand every captain or chief, enemy in the area and sick them on one if you wanted to, or capture them all, bring them to summon them all, and then just clip squeeze your fist and have all of them die. And yes, I did that way too much.
I did that after getting them all to level 75. I let them kill me for days on end to
Ugh.
level them all up.
So sick when they comes in there like that cutscene.
Oh, it's just it's so many things. It's so many things. I'm so excited. I mean, this was going into E3. Like we were talking about E3 impressions before and after. This was the game that I went into E3 going, yeah, this is the game. This is my game of the year. Other than the obvious, the ESO, the Elder Scrolls Legends, and again, we'll have time to talk about that. Another Joke Talk Live. Look for that in the future. This was the game. Like this going in, this was the game. Coming out, it's still the game. I just have more things to be excited about.
So
And
here's-
obviously, a lot of things we've been talking about.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So, this one goes really well, right? Number 2 sells just as or even better, hopefully, than the first
Right.
one.
Right.
So they make a third one.
Yeah.
Could co-op be something
Co-op
could
in Shadow
really
of War.
take it somewhere else? Do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine it, but I'm not saying no. Like I don't all of a sudden think that's a bad idea. It just, I don't know how they would do it with the story to make it, make sense, unless you could have someone poured in as like a chief, like say I'm playing and then Navi's like, hey, what are you playing? I'm like, Shadow of War. I'm like, oh, come in and be so-and-so, the named big orc guy. He's like, fuck yes, I'll be that guy. And then you guys can play together that way and still not break the world. I mean, I think that would be pretty fucking awesome.
Like, as long as your friend has captured a fucking another orc, I could come in and play as that orc. Or somewhere down on the storyline, like he meets a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Like that woman from the first game. She was actually a skin you could wear.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Letherial or whatever her name was. Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about.
Night Mother's
so I mean-
gaze skin.
Night Mother's Gaze skin. Get the fuck out of here. Ugh. Fucking garbage corpse set. Tricking mother. God damn it. Oh, this game is awesome.
I haven't seen this trailer. I watched the other one where he goes and recruits that other what's his name, Bruce or something like that.
Yeah.
I seen that one, and that first like him fighting those other orcs and everything kind of got me right there. I like the fighting in this game. It's dope.
Yeah, the combat's always been solid. The story's gotten crazier. The mechanics of the Nemesis system
And
is
I will
bigger.
be getting all that because I'm pre-ordering it.
Oh yeah, that's it. Without it. Yeah. See, the thing is, I'm pre-ordering everything. Everything.
Like I was sold on this game.
Mhm.
Like I've never been on the fence. I was sold on it, but I was even more sold on it when they showed the clip at E3 where he's talking to the big brute guy, and the
Mhm.
big brute guy is just his sarcasm.
Yeah, that's the one that I
Oh.
saw.
Yeah, that was funny.
It was just
Bright Lord, Dark Lord, same thing. It was hilarious. So good, so good.
It was like,
Oh.
it might be a little bit hard. I mean, he's got 2 heads.
Yeah.
No, that's exactly right. He's got 2 hits. All right, guys. Well, then, as we wind this down, we discussed today Battlefront 2, Spider-Man, Destiny 2, Anthem, Monster Hunter World, and Shadow of War. Of these titles, obviously a few are coming out this year, a few are coming out next year. Of these titles, which are you most excited for and why?
I'm gonna have to say this one's kind of hard because I like the Shadow of War is probably up there, and Anthem.
Got it.
The Monster Hunter World looks amazing too. I want to get that. See that this is hard. You gave us too many fucking games to look at.
You know what I mean?
Also,
yeah, I
it-
hate you
well,
for it.
also, not just that, but he's asking us to pick one that we're really excited for.
Mhm.
That might not even be coming out yet. It could even get delayed even longer.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Well, you never know. I
See,
mean,
I'll tell you one that I'm like on the bottom of my list of the ones that we talked about, and that's
Okay.
Destiny 2.
all right. Bottom of the list is Destiny 2. Okay,
Yeah.
work from there.
I'd have to agree with Chaz. Yeah.
Destiny 2. See, I want to play Spider-Man. It looks good, but that one would probably be the second to last.
Got it.
Yeah,
I know, but see, I've never been a big Spider-Man.
comic fan. All right.
Well, no, I love comics. I love Marvel. Marvel's my shit, but Spider-Man has never been one of like a I just don't like him. I don't know why. It's just that I just never really liked him too much.
Got it. Didn't connect with it. That makes sense. I get it.
See, it's hard. Like Battlefront would probably be is like in the middle, because the only thing is I just don't want to be disappointed with it again. I mean, I don't want it. I just don't. Like I'm excited for the story. I want to play the story really bad to see what's up with that. See, out of the other ones though, I don't know which one would be like first, second, and third.
Got
Probably
it. So,
Anthem will be first, and then Shadow of War, and then Monster World.
okay. All right. So you got Shadow of War. Excuse me. You said what was it? Anthem, Shadow of War, Monster Hunter, and then
Destiny. No, Spider-Man and then Destiny.
got it.
No, Battlefront, Spider-Man, Destiny.
There it is. Okay. And then let's go with ACW next. Same question. Rank like of these excitement. Like again, some are coming out, some may be delayed, some are consoles, some maybe on PC, whatever. Like what are you most excited about?
So obviously Spider-Man. That's
Number 1.
that's the one that's got me. I would put Anthem too, but the thing about Anthem is we don't know enough about it. We've literally seen 7 minutes of game footage, and that's it, and know very little else. But it looks sick. It's definitely got me excited.
Totally.
Not sold on Destiny. I mean, I'm hoping that's one of those, cautiously optimistic.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna throw a curveball when we didn't mention this because it's something I've been looking forward to is Absolver.
And that's one I got to see briefly, and but not enough. I didn't get to see enough where I was like, okay, I can really form an opinion about this because I forget who was asking when I was at E3 to take a look at it. But I got to see it one day, and then I didn't really get to see much of the gameplay.
Absolver.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I realize that's one we didn't talk about, but that's I'm very interested in that, and that's actually in alpha or beta right now. I forget which closed beta maybe.
Gotcha.
So,
But where does Destiny 2 fall on your list? Bottom, top, middle?
Towards the bottom. I mean, I'm not a huge shooter fan, and the disappointment from it. Now, that's one I'll pick up if the game comes out and it's not met with immediate disappointment. Like, it comes out and people aren't like, oh, this is just Destiny 1 reskinned in 4K and it's the same shit.
Right.
Pick it up and look at it. But for me to get involved in a shooter, you have to give me Anthem type excitement. And,
Got it. No, that makes sense. I get that. I totally get it.
Shadows of War would be a 2. I mean, because we're splitting hairs here because I'm probably going to buy both.
Right.
Actually, I'm going to buy both. But, and Spider-Man's one of those. They've done it wrong so many times that you buy that. Now it's just to throw $60 at it and hope somebody gets it right.
Oh man, glorious!
You want it to be right. But.
Well, I mean, for you, I hope that. I mean, I don't know, Nafi, what do you feel on these titles we discussed today? Of these, which are you most excited about? Which are you least excited about?
Okay, so God of War, Assassin's Creed. Oh no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So it's probably gonna go Anthem.
Mm-hmm.
Surprisingly different for you guys. I'm gonna go with Battlefront 2 at the bottom.
At the bottom. All right, started from the top. Now you're at the bottom. All right. Okay.
Followed by Destiny 2.
So you're putting Battlefront 2 below Destiny 2.
Your Battlefront 2 below Destiny 2.
Good shit. Okay, keep going.
All right. Then, obviously, Shadows of Mordor.
Okay.
Then, I have to say, honestly, Monster Hunter.
Look at that.
Hey.
Because Spider-Man, I think it'll be fun. I'll enjoy it. But it's a single-player game, and I'm all about playing with other people. Right?
Got it. Right.
So I think it's something I'll enjoy. Just play it when people aren't really online or doing it, and it'll take me a couple of days to play.
Right.
Over a few times. Everything else, I can get involved with other people.
Mm-hmm. No, I get that. I totally get that. I mean, I'm cracking up. For those that don't know, there was I kind of let the guests of the show know kind of what we were gonna do so they could kind of be prepared. And I talked to Nafi, and Nafi, I was telling him about Monster. He's like, I don't know shit about Monster Hunter. I don't care about it. I just won't say anything. And I'm like, dude, take a look at it. I promise you, it could be really fucking cool. And so for the fact that you're actually into that game as much as you're saying you are, I mean, I'm pleasantly surprised, and I would be actually really excited to play it with you because I think it would be really, really fun.
I mean, it was the same as me. Like, I wasn't. If you guys wouldn't have talked about it as much as you guys did, that would have probably been at the bottom of my list too. But after you guys, because like I said, I didn't know that you can play with other people. I thought it was just like a single player game.
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys were talking about all the other stuff, and I'm like, oh shit, okay, yes, I'm down. Let's do this.
I'm into it. All right, so then Nafi, what's your top? You said Anthem is your number one.
That's me. I still think I just have faith in it. I mean, it might be blinded faith. I might get fucking screwed, but
right, let down, bullied, betrayed.
It looks sick, and it's a good developer.
All right. Well, as I try and rate this myself, I think I'm somewhat kind of all over the place as well as you guys are. Destiny 2's at the bottom. Spider-Man's near the bottom as well, not because I don't think it's going to be great. I'm kind of like Nafi, though. It's a single-player game that's, I love Marvel. I dig Spider-Man, but it's not like I've been waiting for a Spider-Man game like maybe ACW. So for me, again, I'm not saying it's going to be bad or anything, but just for me, I'm like excitement. I'm like, it's going to come out. I'll wait till it's probably on sale. I'll spend some time playing it, and enjoy myself and appreciate what the developer has put together. That said, going from there, God, it's tough. Anthem's probably Anthem's probably going to be in the middle there because again it's so far out. So for me, I'm excited about it because I'm like yes, and I know that I'm not really into Destiny 2, so anything that Destiny 2 would scratch, that's my Anthem. So now that I know Anthem's somewhere in the future, it makes me care about Destiny 2 that much less, which is ridiculous. But from there, Battlefront. Can't believe I'm saying this, but like Battlefront and Monster Hunter are kind of like holding parity for me because on one hand, it's one I've never played, and the idea of hunting monsters in cooperative space, stream, off stream, whatever, and like doing gear and having builds and that kind of thing is really exciting. So I'm like excited about that. But on the other hand, Battlefront is fucking Star Wars, and they watched my Junk Talk video and they decided to listen to all my critiques, and so I feel I owe it to them to play it.
But you feel. Sorry.
No, but I feel I'm excited. I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm a Star Wars junkie. So Battlefront. I mean, the same way that ACW is describing like Spider-Man, that's how I feel about like Star Wars. So it's up there. But then I mean, to top all of these, for me, it's Shadow of War. I'm obviously a geek. I love Tolkien. I love Star Wars. I love Marvel. I love comics, and I think they've just done so many things right with the first game, and the second game just looks to build on that success. It's one of those few examples where it has compounded the success rather than just riding on it. And because of that, and because it's actually coming this year, it tops my entire list of these things we've been talking about.
That helps. It's coming this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I'm excited about Anthem. I mean, I look at that video and I watch it over and over again. I'm like, God, that's going to be awesome.
I just want to touch up. You asked those guys what they thought to E3, and I didn't really get to that. So,
yeah, go for it. Yeah, please do.
With E3 for me, I always feel like I'm excited for it, but I'm always excited for it because I know what's to come next year. Whereas this year it was like, there's some fucking games coming out towards the end of this year.
Right.
Like,
a lot of them too.
Yeah, it was really starting to feel like, for me, obviously they delayed Tomb Raider because Xbox got an exclusive, and then they wanted to sell it me at $60, but it's been out a year, so I boycotted it. That's on me. I just felt like the start of 2017 was.
Yeah, I mean, if I wasn't playing Elder Scrolls as much as I was and continued to, I think I'd probably be with you.
To play.
Yeah, it's like what am I gonna play? No, I feel you. I mean, even this year, like as far as shooters, I said it at the beginning of the year. I'm like, yo, Titanfall 2 is still my shooter for this entire year. I don't have another one. They hadn't announced Battlefront 2 yet. I was like, yeah, Call of Duty can suck it. Battlefield 1, it's cool. It's not for me. So
I
it's like
installed that last week, played it for 48 hours, and I just uninstalled it again afterwards. I'm like, just not interesting enough.
Totally. No, I get it. I mean, yeah, there was kind of a dearth there in 2017, but I know at the end of this year is going to be pretty full, and then 2018. And again, there were a couple, titles we didn't talk about today, and we didn't touch Elder Scrolls at all, or Elder Scrolls Legends. Nothing Elder Scrolls, and that's on purpose because we'll have a dedicated Junk Talk for that we'll have here in the future for those that are watching and listening.
And no Xbox One X talk.
Oh, and yes, you're exactly right. No Xbox One X talks. What?
Yeah,
yeah, what you said. What?
Well, we don't need to talk about it because we're already playing on the console that's outsold.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. Because, rabbit hole.
They might have released. They might have released T-shirts that said we've got the most powerful console, but Sony needed to release T-shirts that said yeah, but we sold the most of the market. So.
Gauntlet thrown. All right.
Another thing about Destiny 2, I totally forgot about it until right now. The different planets.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome because they came out like at the beginning of Destiny 1. They had the Earth, the Moon, and then they came out with Mars later on or whatever.
Right.
But everything that they did Like
Mhm.
all the expansions and everything, it's just like they reversed the map. That's all they
Right.
fucking did was they just okay, here's a new story mission, but you're gonna go backwards. Yay! But
Yay!
this time you're actually going through like the tower,
Mhm.
fighting people, and then they have what I don't even know all the planets that they're coming out with. I know they have Oso and some other ones too, but I think that's pretty cool. I mean, they're all gonna be the same enemies, pretty much, but
Right.
different planets is. I think that would be pretty cool too. But still, I think that one. I just don't want to be disappointed with that game, so that's still
Yeah.
at the bottom for me.
I mean, it's the
I,
overwhelming feeling from
also
everybody,
to
right?
to the
Let's
general.
not be disappointed. Let's hope it's not disappointing.
Yeah.
So, on Destiny 2, I got a question for those of you who played it light level maxed out.
Okay.
Are you disappointed, or does it upset you you're starting over?
No.
No, not at all. Because what is the
I'm glad
to
I'm
me
actually glad I'm starting over.
Yeah, me too. I mean,
to
it would
me
be
that's
bizarre
the
if it
point of
didn't.
having a second one, and still having your max level characters with all your stuff. You know, I think that's
Dumb.
I would rather just
Yeah.
start over again.
Yeah,
I
it's.
mean, they've even said that you can take your character's look over, but
Hmm.
like I was talking to a friend, I'm like, who cares?
Yeah, you're gonna
90% of
wear
the
the
time
armor
you're in
and you can't see them.
fucking
So
helmet, or like you're in the tower for the shortest amount of time. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe that's why I don't like the game. I can't be as vain and see myself in first person. Maybe that's why I'm not as into Destiny. I need to look pretty, y'all. If I'm not pretty, I don't feel good. I'm just saying.
And I know you said it when yes, no ESO talk, but forums confirmed transmog being worked on.
No comment. Hashtag no comment. What? Poor Destiny. God, it was on the bottom of most of our lists. I mean, except for
but going
Naffy's, which had Battlefront below it. That's crazy.
but going on what Chaz says as well about like the game, I'm
Hmm.
really excited that they're giving is it Nathan Fillion a bit more of
Hmm.
a role as well, because
Oh, I
to
know.
me, look what they did with. Okay, the Peter Dinklage was kind of all whacked up, but like such a
Hmm.
great voice actor.
Hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
Replace him with Nolan, and then to put. I mean, some of the voice actors you've got. The girl from Suits, the
Hmm.
main woman, if anyone watches Suits,
Hmm.
plays. They've got. I think he's called Agent Boyles out of the Fringe TV show.
Hmm.
I know.
Well, yeah,
Who
you have
plays the
several
Titan
known
guy, quantities
of
and yet
both voiceover
they're
and in real acting.
non-existent.
Yeah,
Yet they're just non-existent in the first game.
yeah. They don't. You have you spend all this money having these actors be part of
Yeah,
this game, and then not have them be in the majority of the game. It's kind of ridiculous.
to add to insult to injury for all those people that bought this game,
Hmm.
we have a really amazing story for you guys. You gotta go online and read.
You gotta go online and read it.
Because us gamers want to read. That's why we go to gaming.
Yeah, that's just super intuitive. It's their way of saying, get good at reading, gamers, because you game too much.
Hang on a
It's like,
minute. I'll stop playing your game that you've shoved down my throat for the last year or so, and go read a book about Destiny. Let's
It's
everyone
what-
do that tomorrow. And when there's no one online and they're going, shit, we should have put all this in the game.
yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? You can't imagine that it's going to be as shitty story wise as it was the first time, because Vanilla Destiny was a glorified shell. I mean, it was pretty. It was like at the time, goddamn, was that not like the
It
prettiest thing
always
you'd ever
had good
seen?
gunplay.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
as much as I can shit on Destiny, its gunplay was
golden.
fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's makers of Halo. Like they knew what they were doing. It's just all the other parts are like, story, MMO elements,
But at least we weren't stuck with some rom-com lovey story like fucking Master Chief and Cortana by the end of Halo 3.
I've always suspected that Halo was pushed out early by the people who make the decisions about money
Ah,
and less about the developers thinking it was ready.
I see.
Well,
When you say,
that's the problem you had with the original Battlefront. I think EA, because of the time it was coming out and the movies were being redone, like
Mhm.
they just pushed it. And EA is known for capitalizing on money.
I mean, it was all for the movie. It sold as well as it did because it capitalized. It had some DLC, the Jakku DLC that kind of tied in to get you could play. I mean,
Right.
talk about a juxtaposition. We were so desperate to do anything contemporary or new with the movies that we took a fucking desert scene from one part of the original movie with, again, fucking Nib Nub and Lando Calrissian and took it as, God, this is 20 million copies, let's buy it. Like, fucking really? Because now you look at what they're offering with Battlefront 2, it's like Darth Maul, Rey, Yoda, everyone fighting, multiple things, merit-based, fast, story, awesome. Like, and you're going, what the fuck was I thinking on the first one? I fucked up. I fucked
I
up.
wonder if they fired the team on the first one.
Oh, no. But I agree with ACW that, you know, they was fucking rushed. It was just rushed.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely, yeah. The movie came out. They're like, okay, let's just. I don't even care if it's done or not. Just push it out now. Let's just start selling it.
What annoys me the most, and I think what annoys Ryan as well, is we kind of knew it. So
Yeah.
I mean, I called it a week before we'd even got it. I'm telling you now, this game is going to be amazing for a month, and it's going to be dead.
Yep, no,
And
you
it
did say that.
was.
Yeah,
Ah,
I think I had it for exactly maybe about a little more than a month, and I
Yep.
deleted it off of my PlayStation.
It's still installed in my living room. Like, I'm gonna get on and play it by myself on empty servers.
The only thing I've still got of this game, like, well, not this one, but that of that game, installed. Free theme I got.
The
Yeah.
free theme. I got the theme. That theme was OP. OPness
Well,
on the theme.
I say free with the slightest of terminology, as I did buy the fucking $80 edition.
I went all out
Oh.
on it too.
I did the
bought-
season pass. That's why I feel burned as shit. I did the season. Never do the season pass.
Yeah,
The $80 version.
that's another
Season-
thing about this too. Is all the DLC and everything is gonna be free.
Yeah, no shit. Because
That's fucking
because
awesome.
oh god, because when they did it last time,
Paid
they
for
made it so no one had it. So the lobby for the people with all the DLC were like, "There's two people, and you're fighting the same person again, and he's a hell of a lot better than you are. So
Oh, Mr.
enjoy it."
Wibble, thanks for killing me for the 56th time.
God damn it!
Mr. Wibble.
I get it. I suck. I would like to play with someone else now. Anyone?
You guys know what ESPN 30 for 30 is? When they
No.
they
I'm
back
not.
and They do like stories about
Mhm.
a player or an event, and they give you like different. I want to see, as a game junkie, and
Mhm.
talking about like Battlefront 1.
Mm-hmm.
In 5 years, I want the 30 for 30 with the development team that doesn't work for EA anymore,
Oh yeah.
to get them all together and tell the story of what really happened when this was all coming out.
Yeah.
I would watch that. I want to hear the guy who ran that game talk about the high level meetings that went on about that. That interests me.
Yeah, they were 2 years into development and decided to release the game in some form of cordon off mode, and then finish the game 2 years later, and now we're getting the actual Battlefront. That's my thinking.
I still like Ryan's. So
What?
guys. Let's talk about some DLC. How's people feeling about Nib Nub?
Fucking who in a production meeting is going, God, we have Qui-Gon Jinn, Darth Maul, we got Kylo Ren, we've got Darth Vader, and you know what? You know who would match these? Fucking Nib Nub. You know, he doesn't get enough love. Let's have a release where he's the fucking star of the release. That'll make season pass holders happy.
It's called being trolled.
God, he looks like a troll.
I'm telling you right now, if I'd have been in that meeting and that guy had have said Nib Nub, if I'd have had something in my hand at the time, I'd have thrown it at him.
Oh my God.
I probably would have just walked over there and slapped him in the face.
God, it's just like, what are you thinking?
I would have had him come over to me. Come here real fast. Smack him right in the head.
Boom.
And I got nothing against Lando Calrissian. It's like, okay, but I'm sorry, that was not the guy. He's the guy that betrayed everybody. He was the great betrayer. It's like, you put him on the dark side. Don't put him on the light side. Oh my
Yeah,
God,
but
he
he also came to help when Princess Leia wanted to free Han Solo. So he has to stay on the good side.
He could have given them a heads up, by the way, guys. I had no choice.
But the testicle guy was never a good idea.
No, the testicle guy. Oh, The melted testicle. That's what it was. The Grothdar of Star Wars.
Yeah.
So Star Wars talk, The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
What are you expecting?
Oh, good things. I'm expecting good things. And when he says the Jedi must end because the Jedi are fucking evil, when you are taking babies.
We're on about the
and-
movie now, right?
Yeah, we're on about the movie. You know we're on about the movie. Yeah, no. Yeah. I think it's
I
going to be
didn't know
great.
what they were calling the next movie, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. Last Jedi.
In red, like Sith.
Yep, just like that. Well, in red like Sith and red like The Empire Strikes Back.
Well, while we're still on Star Wars, right? Did any of you ever play the single-player Star Wars games that was on, I think, Xbox, where you played as, I think, was it Star-Lord or...
Yeah, Force Unleashed. Yep,
Yeah,
I know what you're
right.
talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were I enjoyed them. They were really fun.
Mm-hmm. No, they were good. I mean, the first one was good. I mean, it like you saw the trailer. That was an example, right? We might get burned with Anthem based on the trailer because the trailers were Force Unleashed were kind of incredible. Like they were kind of the greatest thing. They were using the real motion tech from like Grand Theft Auto, where things like react properly when they move and they fall and they get thrown, and like when you would pick up like. They sold that game being like basically a powerhouse of tech. And then when it got onto the consoles, which were like Xbox 360 and PS3, the shit ran poorly. Screen tearing was everywhere. The best part, like as far as technically, was in the beginning when you were Darth Vader. And then two,
Right. And you were throwing Wookiees everywhere. Left
you're
and right,
throwing,
center.
yeah, Wookiee, like it just over and over and over again. So, yeah, I mean, I played it, but
Wasn't that actually part of like the load screen? Or am I thinking of a different game? Like I was like loading into.
I think. Oh, that was the load screen for Battlefront. Battlefront, the tutorial was like the best part of Battlefront. You were Darth Vader fighting endless waves of ads. It was like, can this be a game?
Oh yeah, I remember that now.
Can this be the game? Can I always be Darth Vader? Can I do that forever? I mean, because then eventually, when the matches got so shitty in Battlefront, you ended up doing Hero Hunt because at least you had a hope of getting in a match and being a hero. Oh,
I would like to see the Force Unleashed. Like I don't know what company it was that made it,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd like to see that somehow make some kind of, even if it got a reboot, just something. Same with also the Darksiders. I do know they're bringing it back. Like we are getting the third one. It's being confirmed.
Oh, Darksiders. Yeah.
Yeah, because THQ went bust, but someone picked them up.
Yeah, I picked up that IP. No, you're right. You're definitely
They
right.
were great games. I loved playing War, the first one. But,
Anyway, all right, guys. Well, we're going to go ahead and wind this down. I want to thank ACW, Chaz Booyah, and Sergeant Naffy all for joining me on this first episode of Junk Talk Live. It has been exceptional. Gentlemen, you are the best. Silence. Anyway, let me go ahead and take you guys out. So, once again, this has been the second. This has been the Tech and Junk.
Say anything?
I don't
thought
think
I
he
was
did.
This has been the Tech and Junk channel. I've been your host, Ryan Chandler. Thank you so much for watching. Cheers, and see you next time.
Later.